Hello, it's October 30th, 2022. It's, I think, a little after 4 in the afternoon. Uh, there's some pretty cool things happening in technology. It's kind of like the Industrial Revolution, 100 years plus 100 years. Like what was happening 100 years ago now was a true, really the first industrial revolution. I don't know where exactly how Portland's Portland cement. Uh, and that's an interesting, really interesting thing to think about Portland cement. Who the some chemists? I guess there's people who just love chemistry and think of doing all kinds of combinations of chemistry. But if you think of Portland cement is it's epoxy. It's got a resin and a hardener. Excuse me. But when it hardens, it it's like steel, just about. And then carbon fiber, of course, they found out that that has the same strength, and there's a chemical reaction in that too. Uh, I'll bet it's the same principle as Portland cement, though. Epoxy is the same principle. It's amazing when those two things come together, the resin and the hardener. It's amazing. Uh, so, Industrial Revolution, 100 years ago, there's Portland cement, steel, the Bessemer process. Um, I always wondered how steel was refined from iron. And the process is so simple, but it's extremely consumptive. And all it is you're removing more impurities. You're removing the the bad stuff, the contaminants from iron ore. And the more you remove, the more it ends up like steel. And you remove enough of it, and it is steel. So it's it's kind of like this is like an anniversary. Am I saying that? Anniversary. Like an anniversary for the Industrial Revolution right now. Only this is an industrial revolution, though. In addition to be a technological revolution, it's also an industrial revolution. I mean, look what look what they've done with airplanes. It's amazing. Airplanes, like they go along the same principle as not Wright's law. Darn it, who was the guy? Where semiconductors double in speed every 18 months or something like that. Well, airplanes just keep evolving, and there's carbon fiber, but the engines are amazing the way they've evolved over the past whatever. God, really, World War II. That was it takes a big war for there to be big technological advances. So, the Civil War. Well, guns going into the Civil War and then after the Civil War are radically different. Going into the Civil War, they were still all muzzle loading. During and after the Civil War, they were all breech loading. Like you put the bullet in the back, and it's shot. It's loaded from the back of the gun, much faster and easier, rather than into the muzzle. And that all came about during the Civil War. And then the ironclad ships, repeaters, Gatling gun, stuff like that. In World War II, World War One, also though, between World War One and World War II, the advancement of weaponry is phenomenal, man. We just are striving to perfect ways to kill each other. Very depressing. That's it. But then after World War II, automobiles, but still, there were nuclear weapons, and they were being improved upon. That's what we need. We need better nuclear weapons, right? But also in the 50s and the 60s, the automobile, and of course, oil-based culture and society. But now we're seeing two revolutions: industrial and technological. Well, what's the industrial piece? Well, it's simple. Just look at Tesla. Well, it took a while, but no. You know what? Actually, he was on. Elon Musk was on to, you know, the the revolutionary concept of the electric vehicle. He was on, like he not so much made that car, the electric car. He saw it coming somehow. He figured out that he could do it, and he knew it could be done. That's one thing, but then actually doing it is quite another. And Tesla is just the most amazing company that's come along since Apple or Microsoft. And in every way, software, hardware, the concept of manufacturing, he's going to have that process robotized and automated so that, you know, when the day is over, he can leave the factory and turn out the lights, but the factory will keep on making cars when nobody's there. He's not that far off from getting that done either. So let's say we reach our potential of industrial and technological advancement to the point where we don't do any physical labor anymore. I don't think that's that far off. Cutting grass, seeing all these landscapers that cut grass, a robot can do that. And much cheaper, more reliable, easier to deal with. You know, it's kind of obvious. But aviation, you know, Elon Musk wanted to build an electric airplane that could go as high as a super powerful jet. I think, how's an electric motor going to do that? He can make the motor have enough power. It's a question of having enough battery life and having enough power on board to get the job done. But his vision is different than everybody else's. You know, he sees a plane with electric motors as having a distinct advantage at extreme altitudes. You know, anything above 40,000 feet is extreme. So people ask him, well, how's an electric airplane going to fly at 60, 70,000 feet? Well, electric motors don't need oxygen. Internal combustion motors need oxygen, but not electric motors. And there's less resistance, less drag at higher altitudes, and the electric motors will perform at their peak efficiency at that altitude or any other altitude because they don't need oxygen. So these are just little tidbits to consider when you're going to invest. I'm invested in Tesla, and I think, I feel good about my money being there. As I found out from betting on football, when something looks like a sure thing, that should be a red flag. So, there's no such thing as a sure thing. And if you don't understand that, then you shouldn't be investing. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good Halloween. Tomorrow is Halloween, and November and December historically are the two best performing months for investment ever. For going back as far as you want, going back 20 years, November and December are the two best months. So I hope you're successful that way, and maybe it has something to do with Santa Claus, giving us an early Christmas present. Who knows? Anyway, happy end of October to all of you, and I hope your November, your Thanksgiving, and your Christmas upcoming holidays are extra good this year. Peace.